Arthur Finn was a man who measured life in spreadsheets. As the founder of a thriving architectural firm, his wealth was a precise, growing number, testament to his skill in designing shimmering towers of steel and glass. He lived in one such tower, a minimalist penthouse that felt more like a museum exhibit than a home. His life was a portrait of riches, a custom Italian sports car, a watch that cost more than most people's homes, and tailored suits that never saw a wrinkle. Yet, by his 55th birthday, Arthur felt a hollowness that his bank statements could not fill. His calendar was a mosaic of back-to-back meetings. His dinners were lavish but solitary, and his sleep was chased away by the blue light of financial forecasts. He had crossed the happiness plateau years ago. Each new million brought only a fleeting spike of triumph before the familiar baseline of stress returned. His doctor warned of high blood pressure, a symptom of what he privately called his portfolio pressure. The constant anxiety, the relentless drive for more, was quite literally making him sick. He was rich, but he was far from well. One Tuesday, plagued by a persistent headache, Arthur fled his glass office. He drove aimlessly until he found himself at the city's old botanical garden. It was a stark contrast to his world of concrete and chroma quiet, green oasis that time seemed to have forgotten. There, he met Alara, an astronomer who ran the garden's dilapidated planetarium. Her world was the antithesis of his. Her salary was modest, her clothes were simple, and her car was reliably old. Yet, she spoke with a quiet, radiant energy about the rings of Saturn and the chemical makeup of distant nebulae. Her passion wasn't tied to a stock price. It was infinite, vast as the universe she studied. Intrigued by this different kind of wealth, Arthur began to visit her weekly. He learned about her dream to revitalize the planetarium and the garden, but funding was a constant struggle. For the first time in years, Arthur saw a problem that couldn't be solved by just writing a check. He wanted to do more. He helped Alara apply for a community grant, using his sharp business skills to craft a compelling proposal. It was a new challenge, a different kind of deal to close. Together, they secured the funds. The project was a revelation for Arthur. The master of cold, vertical lines found himself learning about ecosystems and community spaces. He used his wealth not as an end, but as a tool. He donated his firm's services at cost to redesign the garden's pathways for better accessibility. He wasn't just signing a check. He was contributing his expertise, his time, his self. He felt the deep satisfaction of mastery in a completely new domain. More importantly, he found himself laughing during long planning meetings with Alara and the team of volunteers. These relationships weren't transactional. They were built on shared goals and genuine connection. For the first time in decades, he was part of a team where his value wasn't his net worth, but his contribution. 5 years later, the celestial garden opened to the public. It was a magical place, where nature and the cosmos intertwined. Standing under a canopy of twinkling lights designed to mimic the Milky Way, Arthur felt a profound shift within him. His penthouse was still quiet, but his life was not. He now had a purpose that outlasted quarterly reports and a community that knew his name, not his company's valuation. The science he later read explained what he felt. The chronic stress of managing his riches had been wearing down his body, but the sense of purpose, autonomy, and connection he found in the garden, what psychologists call eudaimonic well-being, was actively promoting his health. His blood pressure had normalized. He hadn't abandoned his wealth, but he had stopped letting it define him. He had traded the exhausting pursuit of riches for the sustainable state of prosperity. Arthur Finn, the architect of towers, had finally built a life that was truly worth living. This story was brought to you by Mythos and Metros Media. If you found it inspiring, please like this video and subscribe for more stories that explore the true meaning of a well-lived life. Thanks for watching.